good, y'all? Welcome back to Audiotree Live. I am your loving host, Psalm 1, and today is Friday, September 19th, 2025. Now, we're staring down the barrel of legendary today. We've got those Jarman brothers from across the pond slinging enduring rock tunes with punk pop sensibility. Ladies, and gentlemen, please welcome the Cribs.
Thank you very much. In a double exposure, all the expression gave away the game when it bled into the last frame. But now there's something calling me back to the place I saw you last. Stuck there waiting for a train to pass. Still the same kids, screaming in suburbia. Some things may have changed, but the spirit inside of you is still hearing voices now. Baby just won't shut up. It's not a guilty conscience though. It's just a load of nonsense now. And talking in your sleep, you gave away the dreams you tried to keep. If this life is a sad song, we've been singing it for too long, for too long. Still the same kids, screaming in suburbia. Some things may have changed, but the spirit inside of you is still hearing voices now. Baby just won't shut up. It's not a guilty conscience though. It's just a load of nonsense now. If this life's just a sad song, we've been singing it for too long, for too long. If life's just a sad song, we're singing it too long, for too long.
Hey guys, something interesting you might not know about this YouTube channel is 80% of you all watching this video right now are not subscribed. So if you could pretty please hit that subscribe button below, and we're going to do our best to keep bringing the most amazing musicians from all over the world just to play for you. All right, back to the show. We're here with Ross, Gary, and Ryan, better known as the Cribs.
Hi.
Hi. How are you? How are you doing today?
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming. This is your first tour of the U.S. in several years, correct?
Yeah, when was the last time we were here?
Well, we came out with
Oh, yeah.
Modest Mouse in 2022.
2020,
so
yeah,
it's
that's right.
It's the first show since then. So like 3 years. We were gonna do a headline tour in 2020, but
Yep.
like the pandemic put paid to that. Prior to that, it was 2017. So it's
Yeah, we woke up this morning in like a pitch black basement in Chicago and having no idea where we were or what was going on. So it's like, must be a US tour, you know what I mean? It's like, that's how it usually feels.
And even this tour was in like it looked like it was going to be in the balance because like 3 weeks ago I ruptured a ligament in my foot and also fractured it. So like for the last I've been having like intense physiotherapy for the last like 3 weeks, and luckily it's holding up today. This is the first thing we've done since. So.
He's got like really gnarly photos to prove it as well.
Yeah, it looks like my foot looks like it's come from like The Walking Dead or something. It's like looks really bad. So yeah, this was in the balance, but we don't cancel stuff, so it's good.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thanks.
Yeah. Do you have any like fave memories about the city other than like waking up in the basement?
I mean, it's really good to be back in Chicago. I've always loved Chicago because, I mean, I'm not going to say how long ago, but like a long, long time ago, like Chicago was the first place I ever came in the States, and I was here exactly the same time, like, end of summer. So that was like nostalgic waking up this morning, like, the weather was exactly the same as I remember coming here. So it's, I've got a lot of good memories of it. We recorded out here with Steve Albini a couple of times at Electrical, and when I first came out here, it was in the 2000s. It was like the whole thrill jockey scene, and there was like a lot of like really good like house parties and like shows to go to. I mean, I have no idea what the you know, the countercultural like underground scene is like here now. But it was amazing at the time. So I always excited to come to Chicago.
Well, Ryan lived in an apartment off Damon, was it?
Oh no, yeah, like literally right across from the rainbow.
Oh,
for a little while.
that's like watching a movie every day if you just look out the window.
I used to. Well, we went there last night just because I mean it never changes, which is cool. But I used to, like, when I was staying in the apartment across there, I used to go down every day after dinner and have a glass of Baileys as dessert and then go home. So I was kind of considering getting one last night, but didn't bother.
Chicago's always been a really important city for us. Like when Ryan first came out, like it's because we'd met Bobby Conn, who's a great artist from Chicago, and he was an early kind of supporter and advocate of ours. So he turned us on
some tracks for us.
Yeah, he did some production on the first record. He really turned us on to a lot of stuff, and he was kind of the first person from outside our family bubble who'd been like an advocate and a supporter of ours like that. So like, and then later Steve Albini, yeah, we worked with him. We recorded with him twice out here, and like, you know, Steve left an indelible mark on loads of people, but on us, like we grew up as huge fans of his, like massively influenced by him, and so to have him be so generous and so accommodating for us is like, yeah, we're super proud of it. And Chicago's, both Bobby Conn and Thrill Jockey and Steve Albini and Electrical Audio, to us they're like such fundamental parts of like our influences and culture that like that Chicago is like really fundamental to us. It always has been. So
Nice, that's good to hear. I mean, I know the city welcomes you with open arms, and Riot Fest is one of our rowdiest festivals that we have here. When you're playing a festival with such a wide range of fans, you know, some diehards, some casual listeners, how do you approach building the set list? Like, are you leaning on hits, deep cuts, striking a balance? I know you got some new stuff.
Yeah, it kind of just depends how we're feeling at the time, because, like, I mean, honestly, the whole thing, like, because we've got like a bunch, you know, we were on our like 9th record now, and if you just revert to the hits and you're only playing like half an hour or 45 minutes, it's almost like the set list is just dyed in the wool. So we like specifically try and avoid doing that, you know. So it just depends what kind of mood we're in. I mean, like at the minute we're playing like a few songs that are from our like first record that we haven't played in ages, and it's just because like it keeps stuff interesting for us, or because like we're just more into that at the minute. So it just depends. Like what we're into at the minute, I guess. But like definitely like don't try and just stack hit after hit after hit, because it's just boring.
We end up playing the same set list every time,
Right.
and then
it's not Live Aid, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's Riot Fest, you know. It's not Live Aid.
But then if you come to Chicago like once every, or like, you know, since 2017 this is like only our second time here, or third time here, and so if you come that like, you know, sporadically, then it's such a bummer for people to see songs they've already seen you play before. But like it's cool actually, because we're going to be here 3 times.
Yeah.
Like now, like so it's like we've gone from like, you know, being sporadic to doing a whole bunch of shows out here, and like
We'll be here like 3 times in like the space of 2 weeks or something. So
we're playing Reggie's tonight.
Yeah.
So that's going to be like definitely more deep cuts.
Sure.
You know? Last time we played Riot Fest 2017, we just went full punk. I was looking at the set list, and it was like we chose stuff that was just going to be like that we could just like blast through, you know, and just
Right.
like and no respite. But I think it'll be a little more diverse this time.
we were using last time we did Riot Fest, we had Neil Diamond's touring crew with us, which is like that's like kind of an interesting like, but they didn't.
He quit the next day.
They wouldn't set up or get out of the van, so we had to like do everything ourselves that day. And then the quit like the day, like the next morning we got up and none of the crew were in the hotel. We'd just gone home.
We just 2 crew members who just didn't get on, but it was funny, like, because we put them in the same room, and it was like, oh, the guy left water around the sink, and it was like, you know, it was just like really petty things
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
arguing about.
Things,
It's like I
really.
went in there, and he was like, I think that was the final straw. He went in, and one of the crew members had brushed his teeth, and round the sink was wet, and the guy was like, that's it, I'm finishing now, I'm going home. And
Yeah,
he just
he was
went
looking
home.
for-
Neil Diamond would never do that.
He was looking for an excuse to leave. He
Yeah,
wanted to
for
go back
sure.
to the Neil Diamond song.
Well, you know what? I could talk to you about these stories all day because that was a great. But let's get back into the music.
Yeah. All right.
Dancing on the screen, I still see you as the star power you used to have. Sing romance, like a message from the past. Embarrassed though I am, I'm still watching through my healthy interest. Will never have. I'm feeling so eternally grateful. Now I realize, like a candle on a vacant table, being so denied, burning for no one. I'm burning for no one. I guess I'll be eternally grateful, 'cause I realize, like a candle on a vacant table, hidden from your eyes, burning for no one. I'm burning for no one. Rejecting, yeah, I guess, but I talk to those the best. Will never hear me sing romance at the altar of your younger self. I'm left to tell your story. Some healthy interest I'll never have. I'm feeling so eternally grateful. Now I realize, like a candle on a vacant table, being so denied, burning for no one. I'm burning for no one. I guess I'll be eternally grateful, 'cause I realize, like a candle on a vacant table, searching for your eyes, burning for no one. I'm burning for no one.
Yes. We just heard Back to the Bolthole, a classic ditty by none other than the Cribs. Given you're a band of brothers, how do you balance that family relationship with the band together in the long term, both like creatively and personally?
Well, I mean, it's kind of weird. Like, we all live apart now, which it kind of, it ends up being like most of the time when we're together, we're doing band stuff. So you kind of got to specifically decide to get together and not do band stuff, which is kind of hard because you just revert. It's what we used to do when we were kids. Anyway, playing music was just like it was just like something we did to pass the time. So it's like, it doesn't. Even though we all live apart, it doesn't feel like anything's like really changed. It's like we've had this set dynamic forever. So
when you're from a small town, especially kids like us, in the 90s, in the pre-internet age, there wasn't much to do, and it wasn't very easy to meet like-minded people, and so playing music was something we did just as like Ryan said, as a pastime. It was also like an outlet,
Sure.
It sounds a little corny, but it was an outlet for your frustrations and for your feeling, especially when you were a teenager, so that's how we started doing it together. To be honest, it's strange now that it's this established dynamic between us, because we've been doing the band longer than we were brothers. So we've been bandmates longer than brothers, which is pretty fucked up, to be honest. But it's like, at the same time, it's like I don't know if I could have managed to keep it going if it wasn't as brothers.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, it would have been really challenging, but that's where the kind of rub comes in, because it's like, when you are brothers, how do you figure out where you're not going to stop seeing each other or being around each other? So how do you figure out, like, A, where the band ends and the family begins, but B, it's been great for longevity, but like, I don't want to be one of these guys who's still on stage for forever.
Yeah, you don't want to end up like that rock guy, you know what I mean? You don't want to be like a rock guy. But this is literally what we were talking about last night at about 2 a.m. before we went to sleep. We were like, we had a long conversation about this exact like topic.
And then I ended up with insomnia and existential dread until like at least 5 o'clock this morning. I don't know. So we try not to think about it. Suffices.
Sure. So after tour, you're gonna schedule some time for playtime.
It's my birthday in 2 days. Well, we have a day off in San Diego, so there's just us three, because there's gonna be the crew are driving the van and stuff over. So there'll just be us three. So it's probably the first time we'll all be like hanging out by a pool for a day, which we never do anything like that. So that sounds pretty fun.
Do you have any recommendations of stuff to do in San Diego?
I know a place with a really good duck burrito. If you've ever had duck in a burrito, it's really good. So it's a culinary place. It's all obviously very beautiful. Looks like a postcard. Yeah. I think a beach day, a pool day might be just what you want.
I think the last time we did a beach day, we were probably all teenagers in Ibiza or something like that together. So it's definitely overdue.
First time since '97.
Absolutely, it's overdue. So you dropped a single in August of this year, which was the first song you played in the set. So thanks for previewing that. And so we've got new shows, a new single. Are we gearing up for an album?
Yeah, there'll be a new album next year.
Okay.
We
made the album last year, and we've just been kind of sat on it for a while. But yeah, January. Is it January 9th it comes out, I think?
Yeah, I saw a date.
Yeah, January 9th. We're going to try and do some more US shows around then. It's going to be a big UK tour in March. So everything's just sort of coming together now.
Right.
Yeah. These are the first tour dates we've done since the single, really.
Yeah, so you're really just gearing up.
Yeah.
And in a recent interview, Ryan, you were talking about coming out of your comfort zone and into some more maybe real pop territory. Well, what was the comfort zone, and can you kind of elaborate?
It's just
on that?
we was talking about, we'd worked with Steve Albini before, and like most of the producers that we've worked with, whether it be like Rika Kasek or Steve Albini or
Dave Fridman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dave Fridman. It's all people who they're amazing producers, but they're predominantly known as rock producers or whatever. So we've kind of worked with all these all these people that we really wanted to work with. But the guy that we worked with on this record, like Patrick Wimberly, he's like, you know, the projects that he mainly works on is like people like Lil Yachty and like people in that in you know, he works more in the pop world and like the so that to us just seemed more interesting because he's a cool guy and he had great ideas, but he had ideas that were the kind of stuff that we wouldn't come up with, you know, because
he came from a background that like understood, like he was in a band called Chairlift. He was like a indie band, so he kind of understood like where we were coming from, but he also works in a completely different field now. So it's like for us, it was like we wanted to like get involved with something that was like, not retreading old ground,
sure,
but with somebody who understood the Cribs and understood like what, you know, and he knew of our, you know, band and our history and stuff. So like that, it was a really good way to like get move into different things.
But his recording process was different to what we'd done before. You know, it was just generally a different experience. But you know, with the Cribs, we've always had like a pop side to us. We've always been into pop music, you know, and like generally when we've gone into the studio, we tend to focus more on the like kind of not sabotaging it, but kind of like fucking it up so it doesn't sound, you know what I mean, so that nothing gets too like I don't know, it's just like some weird, like some
too
weird
formulaic.
guilt.
Too,
I know, but it's like we want, you get in the studio and you kind of like want to mess it up a bit more. Whereas like Patrick was really good at like focusing what the hooks were and like working on bringing them out in a cool way, you know.
Yeah, not in a sort of conventional way, in a more like, you know, he's definitely coming from an esoteric place, which I think a lot of pop producers are actually. Like the old sort of like idea of a pop producer being somebody who's like sort of saccharine and looking at like glossy kind of
things like shiny.
Like
and
modern pop producers are much more like sophisticated than that. Or, you know, not to do anyone down, but they're coming from a more esoteric position and kind of a more experimental position. So it's like, someone with Patrick's background and like his position now, it's like that was our way of like figuring out how we were gonna get outside of our comfort zone and do something that like hopefully, like, I mean, certainly to us we felt like that was the best way for us to like have these songs fulfill the potential.
Because we got to focus on the hooks, but in a cool way, not in like you know, it was just like that. I don't know. It was just for us it was just like you know, kind of a slightly different way of thinking, and it was just really helpful because like, you know, we've made so many records and done it in
9 albums way. You don't want to just keep doing the same thing.
I think we ticked all the boxes we were looking to tick, and so when it came to like figuring out who to work with on this record, we realized that everyone who'd made records that we loved, we'd already kind of worked with, like, you know, we were lucky enough to have worked with, so we were just like, it would have either been retreading old ground or trying something else, and that's I'm glad that that's the route we took. You know?
I'm glad too, for sure. Well, let's get back into the music.
Yeah. So that being said, it is a really old school one.
Yeah.
You were
you've dressed yourself in towers.
Because a man's needs a final creed, a final creed. A man's needs a lost on me. A man's needs a final creed, a final creed. A man's needs.
I'm not bothered what you say or how you dress. I'm a mess, so you've always seemed inviting. But really, this all seems quite meaningless. And I remember that you never seem to see the best of me.
Man's needs a final creed, a final creed. A man's needs a lost on me. A girl's needs just don't agree with a man's needs.
Have you noticed that I've never been impressed by your friends from New York and London? But really, this all seems quite meaningless. And I remember that you never seem to see the excuses.
Man's needs a final creed, a final creed. A man's needs a lost on me. You say a man's needs apply to me. I don't agree. A man's needs.
A massive thank you to the Cribs with honorable mention to Ross's Foot for joining us today. And as always, major love to our camera ops, engineers, dogs, editors, and artists here at Audiotree spreading the gospel of live music. These lovely fellows are playing Riot Fest and doing USA support for The Rapture this fall, so grab tickets when they're in your area. Also get into their goated catalog if you haven't already, including the new single, Summer Seizures. And like I always say, baby dolls, likes are good, but subscribing to Audiotree means you get these dope videos at the top of your feed as soon as they drop. Get cool merch at audiotree.shop. And if you want the audio-only version of this session, you can find that across streaming platforms. Finally, follow Audiotree on social media for more fun content. This is Psalm 1 signing off. And remember, y'all, stay dangerous and drive safe. Please. I'll see you next time. Peace.